Hi, this is Kenny Loggins, and we're going to talk about reinventing yourself at any age and what that looks like and how you might try it. A few years ago, I went through what would be loosely called a midlife crisis, one of a few actually, where I questioned who I was and what I did. It appeared that in the music business there was no room for me anymore, and I was being forcibly retired. And I took a good look at that, at what the message was, whether I should find another line of work, whether there really was a space for me left in the music business. And what I came up with was that it wasn't what I was doing, it was how I was doing it or why I was doing it. And what I became painfully aware of was that when I'm not being creative, I'm being unhappy. And the simple answer was get back to work, get to writing, get to recording, and the more involved in the creative process I am, the happier I am. So it was a simple thing. I'm addicted to being creative, and I have to feed that Jones. That has taken me on an interesting ride for the last 10 years or so, and what I've seen in following the creative juice is that it's taken me to a place that I didn't expect to do, which was to start a new band. I had an intuitive sense when I wrote with Gary Burr in Nashville that he and I should be working together, that I kept being drawn to the idea of writing more with him and singing with him. First I got that I should be writing with him, and I made the appointments and went to Nashville and started writing with him. And in the process, we demoed what we were writing, and we sang together and discovered that our voices blended perfectly, like brothers. And I said, if this was 20 years ago, we'd start a band. And then that seed planted. And a few months later, I called him and said, I think I was serious about that. Do you want to do that? And he said, yeah. He said, it sounds like fun. And then a few months later, when I finished my next children's record, I called him back. I was running in the foothills of Santa Barbara, and the endorphins kicked in, and I got this creative thing going. And I thought, oh my God, we need a third. We need a girl. She's got to be a strong writer, foremost as a songwriter. And then a really strong singer would be ideal, and reasonably attractive would be excellent. And what I got clearly was that Gary would know who it was. That Nashville had a dearth of great female singer-songwriters, ostensibly, and that there must be somebody there that he knows. Well, I called him and he said, absolutely, I know who it is. Within seconds, he said, it's Georgia Middleman. She's from San Antonio. She's been here like a dozen years in Nashville. She sings on all my demos, and I'm dating her. I said, perfect. So I flew to Nashville, and we met, and within an hour, we wrote our first song together. And the three of us have written everything, almost everything on the new record, together as a trio, which is rare. Bands rarely all write every song together. And because she blends perfectly with Gary, she blends perfectly with me. And so we have this sibling harmony, so to speak, that is just a joy to do. I love to get together with them and sing anytime. And as Gary says, we'll sing at the opening of a letter. So we love what we're doing, and it's right now it's for the joy of what we're doing and for the creativity that seems to accompany it. Every time we get together, we write a song within a matter of hours. To follow that muse, to follow that calling to creativity, has taken me into some very interesting places, and I highly recommend it.